Hello everyone, welcome and welcome back to my channel. This is Hazel Lucia Tarot. I'm your tarot reader, Stephanie, and today's reading is about what your person thinks about you. This could be any kind of relationship. It could be platonic, professional, romantic, or anything else that comes between any of that. But we have 5 piles here for you today. Pile 1, we have the moon agate shape. Pile 2, we have the heart-shaped selenite. Pile 3, we have the amethyst cluster. Pile 4, we have a flower agate. And pile 5, we have the black tourmaline. So take a few deep breaths, think of your person, and I'll be ready for your reading whenever you are. Hello there, pile 1. If you chose the moon-shaped agate, then we have your reading here for you about what your person thinks about you. We're going to see what it is that your person thinks about you, regardless of who this person is. I'm intending this to be for both romantic, platonic, or otherwise, but if I see it leaning more towards one way, of course, I will let you know, because I feel like even if you're thinking of a platonic person, they could have, certain feelings for you. But we're going to decode and I was going to say desensitize. I hope you're not getting desensitized because of this. But we're going to see what is going on between you and your person, specifically what they think of you. So we have the Chariot. This person sees you as rather quick and on the go. The Chariot does, it's linked to Cancer, the sign of Cancer in astrology. So some of you could have Cancerian traits. Maybe some of you were born in July. This is the number 7. But overall, this person sees you as fast or on the go, or that you're going places, metaphorically or otherwise. Something about travel could also be important here. For those of you who identify with the vehicles that you may drive or ride, I feel like this could also be the case. With that said, let's get the rest of your cards. Pile 1. I almost said pile 4. I haven't done that one yet. But maybe some of you were called to pile 4 as well. There is something about having a lot of energy as well. Some of you could be just very high energy people. We have Comfort. It wanted to come out reversed, but I don't really do reversals for this kind of, with this deck anyway. So there is something about comfort or maybe discomfort. Maybe somebody here used to find you comfortable and now they don't, or vice versa. Maybe they used to be uncomfortable around you and now they're okay. Pile 1. We have Guide. Interesting that there's a lot about direction and going somewhere. So this person could be somebody that you go to for a lot of guidance or advice. Growth. Yeah, this could be a mentor of some kind, a teacher, or somebody that you look up to. And journey. Again, something about traveling. It could be that you may have met this person while traveling, or maybe you're asking about somebody that you're traveling with, or that you may have just met on your travels. But regardless, there is kind of like Sagittarius and or 9th house energy here, where it's all about expansion, whether it's learning, going somewhere, traveling, or just expansion of the mind and or the perspective here in general. Like, I feel like, yeah, there's something about you growing through this person. For example, since we do have Comfort here, it's like they help you to comfortably get out of your comfort zone. I do feel for a lot of you, this could be a mentor or a teacher of some kind, or an advisor. We have Loki play, which is interesting because Loki is known as like the trickster god, the mischievous shape-shifting god of Norse mythology. But he's kind of associated, at least in certain mythologies, or at least this is how I've always associated him. I associate him with Mercury because of messages. And I don't know, I've always felt like Mercury or Hermes have like a little bit of a mischief energy to them. Correct me if I'm wrong, you don't always have to take that. I feel like for some of you, there could be something about communication here as well. Or maybe there's also something playful about this person, like you could have some good witty banter, or maybe you like to joke a lot, hence why it's a little bit comforting. For some of you, you don't know yet if you can trust this person or not. Back of the deck, we have Apollo Inquiry. Inquiry means a question, so I do feel... Wait, does it? Or am I thinking of query? Inquiry, query. I don't know. It makes me think of asking a question. And Apollo is a god that is known for various things, including the arts, psychic ability, medicine, the sun, etc. So there's something about a wealth of knowledge here. Let's go ahead and get another card for pile 1. We have Baba Yaga, authenticity. And back of the deck, we have Mudita, unity. So for a lot of you, I feel like this person, doesn't matter where you met them, I feel like there's something about being very honest with each other and being very blunt. I feel like you and this person, you don't really, maybe in the beginning you used to kind of be a little bit fake, but now there's a lot of honesty. It could be vice versa. Maybe now there used to be a bit of honesty and now it's like very, it's not that you're fake, because once you've seen people's true colors, you can't really unsee them. But there's something about you and this person, either I'm seeing 2 specific camps. Either you're very honest with each other, even though you couldn't really be at the beginning for whatever reason, or even if you are very honest or you can see through this person, there's a need to put up a front. There's a need to put up there's a need to pretend to be nice even if you hate each other's guts. There's something about, with play and authenticity, is for example, this could be like you may joke with somebody, but the truth is you can't really stand them, but because, and I see this more in the workplace, so I'm going to use that as an example. Like your boss is around, so you kind of have to talk to each other as if you like each other, but the truth is that you don't. If that's not resonating with how you feel about this person, I feel like this is how they view you. Because for a lot of you, you could be just very genuine, honest people. So when you get around this person, you might get like a little weird feeling about them, hence why you're at this reading. You want to know what they think about you. And if you've had some kind of hunch that they could be playing games or not be being very honest with you, I feel like you're kind of right. Is Apollo the favored son? I can never remember. But there's something about his energy that makes me think that they act golden in front of their higher ups. Like if this is a sibling, they could act like a certain way in front of your parents, but once the parents are gone, they revert back to being their usual self. So this person, they're not 100% genuine or honest with you. And sometimes there's reasons behind that. I don't think it's always ill intent. Sometimes people just kind of want to reserve their true self for their family or for their friends outside the workplace or outside of a certain situation. And sometimes it is very much a little bit fake. Maybe this person was taught or learned somewhere along the way that you have to be like exactly what somebody expects you to be in order to get ahead in life, as opposed to being a little bit more honest. Because I feel like, especially with unity here, pleasure reversed, interesting. This person will do a lot for the collective, but when it comes to one-on-one basis or when it comes to the individual, I don't think they're that great a person, at least with you. I don't know. There's kind of a sense that you can't completely trust this person. That's why comfort wanted to come out reversed, even though I don't see it that way. For some of you, for example, this could be somebody that you're learning from that you don't 100% trust, but you're kind of forced to learn from them and or deal with them somehow. Like, for example, if you're in a classroom, especially college, like for those of you who are just not going to college, don't be afraid to change up your teachers, even if you get even if you get like the smallest bad gut feeling about them. That's your gut trying to warn you about something that you're going to be spending too much time on. Because I feel like for a lot of you, you've seen a side to this person that you're kind of like questioning. You're like, can I trust this person? Can I not trust this person? Especially with this authenticity card. I mean, Baba Yaga looks really, really creepy here. A little ugly, if you will. So you may have seen a part of them that you just don't believe to be very, what's the word? Wholesome? Yeah, it's not very wholesome, or you just, I'm trying to think of the word. It's just not great. It's not positive. Let's put it that way. With that said, let's move on to the tarot, because I really want to ask more specific questions about you and this person. For me, this question or this person feels like, can I not trust them? What do they think of me? And I think, honestly, pile one, you should be more concerned with how you think and feel about them. What does your intuition say about this person? So let's go ahead and get your cards. I'm going to ask what they think of you and why. So what do they think of you? And then the third question, if it's like something that is troublesome or if it's problematic, to see if we can change that. So for pile 1, we have the Knight of Wands reversed. You know what? Wasn't there the pleasure card here? Yeah. Yeah, Katesh, pleasure. For some of you, this person might think that your good looks get you everywhere. Specifically, and again, I'm using the workplace as an example because it's neutral and I think most people can relate to it. They might think that your good looks have gotten you places, or that it really wasn't your hard work or your accolades. It was more like your looks. So this person believes that basically you got to where you are because you're good looking or you're hot or because somebody was attracted to you or that you could be sleeping with somebody. I'll be honest, this is what I'm getting. This person, it could also be your youth. Maybe they feel like you have some advantage, some sort of privilege, or were given some sort of privilege. Like somehow you didn't earn what you have, because for whatever reason, this person thinks that you rose up through this a little too fast. We have the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, they don't seem to get how you know what you know. Some of you could look younger than you are. Maybe this person believes that you're a whole decade younger and therefore that you don't have much experience. Hence why you're always going to them for advice as well. Because I think you're naturally very inquisitive. I think you're naturally like to learn. And this person, just because, again, because you either come off as young or inexperienced or like somebody who just didn't really earn their position, they think this is how you are. They hold back a lot. And if they hide how they feel very well with their face, some people have amazing poker faces. The amount of people I know who have poker faces that are just spot on, but you'll see it in their eyes, you'll see it in their body language, and you may even see it in the way they talk to you, or even just energy. Honestly, energy doesn't lie. 2 more cards. We have Page of Swords and the Star. So Page of Swords lets me know that you get spoken about a lot, or people talk very positively about you. This person does talk about you. And the Star. So they see your potential. They see why people make a big deal about you. That said, I think they still don't think you deserve either where you are, where you've gotten, what you have. Like whatever this is, this person, I'll be honest, it's a little bit of jealousy. Wands energy can be jealousy. So this is what they think of you, and I've kind of explained why. I'm going to get a few cards for why. Why do they think that... Why do they think you don't deserve this? I've already mentioned maybe some of you are just high energy, or you look young, or they think that you know somebody. Yeah, 7 of Swords. They think something shady's up. They think something... Maybe it's also gossip. Maybe they've heard gossip about you. They may even accuse you of being deceitful or having lied or something along those lines. And 8 of Pentacles. Look, if this is like the workplace, honestly, this could apply to anything. You work hard for what you do. This person doesn't want to put in the work. Whenever I see the 8 of Pentacles, this is somebody who kind of just expects to be given things, but they don't want to put in the work or the effort or the time it takes to create the things that you've created. Because for a lot of you, I do believe that you've worked very hard for where you've gotten to be. Or at the very least, you show the skills and the code, if you will. You have like the makeup, the system, the code to be somebody who can actually learn things. This person, they can't, or even if they can, they don't want to, or even if they've tried, you know, I feel like this person, it feels like excuses. It feels like this person sees you getting everything and they just want to make up excuses as to why you have what they could easily have themselves, but don't go after. So yeah, I feel like it's envy. I'll be honest, it feels a little bit like envy, especially with the 7 of Swords here. To me, the envy card is more, 5 of Wands, but that would imply that they would want to like actually fight for that or actually like show you up. But this person doesn't want to do that. Because for whatever reason, the 8 of Pentacles is not a lazy card, but that's how Spirit was telling me to explain it. Not because you're lazy or because even this cat's lazy, but because 8 of Pentacles is like the fruits of our labor. 7 of Pentacles is the work. 8 of Pentacles is the reaping of the rewards. And here, this person doesn't want to reap the rewards. They honestly believe that people can only get success through like lying, cheating, stealing, or you know, throwing people under the bus. So they can't really believe whenever they see somebody positive and wonderful and who actually works well get the success that you have gotten or will eventually have, pile one. If you don't have success right now, I feel like you will, or even if that's not something you care about, this person sees you that way. Again, it's envy. So will you be able to change this person's mind about this? Because it does feel like for some of you, you may not care, or it may not, you know, bother you or affect you in any way, shape, or form. But just in case it does, I want to see, will you be able to change this person's mind, or will their mind change with time or something here? We have the Fool. We have the Knight of Pentacles. The Fool reversed is bad first impressions. It's literally the Fool being the most fool they could be. This thing looks like it's about to walk into the fryer. So I feel like this person just had the worst first impression of you for whatever reason. Maybe you yourself know and understand why. Maybe you can recall that day. If not, it could just be the things they've heard about you or what they've seen. You know how some people, when they see new people, the first thing they want to do is judge? This person feels very judgy. We have the Knight of Swords. I do think their mind will change. I think someone's going to either keep saying things about you, or someone's going to defend you, or they're going to have no choice but to see you keep doing well. And it's like, it's kind of hard to deny that you work well. Because we have 3 knights here. The knight isn't lazy. The knight doesn't just sit around. In fact, the knight may care a little bit, because I think out of all the suits cards, they have the most ego. But it's like, at the same time, you're too busy doing the thing you have to do in order to care or to change this person's mind. I think just naturally with time, they're not going to forget the initial feeling. This person kind of clings to that. Page of Cups. Yeah, this person's a little bit emotionally mature, so they won't ever fully accept you or like you. I don't think you care. I think as long as they're not getting in the way of things getting done or things being how they're supposed to be, you're not going to really care about this. 9 of Cups. I kind of see you as this pile one, this happy little cat with your little cups of all your favorite sauces. Like, you're good, you're fine. I think you don't really care what people say. Interesting. But yeah, their perception will change, but they're emotionally immature, so they're not going to be your best friend. Let's put it that way. They're not going to be your best friend, but they're not going to be able to deny that you do well. So with that said, let's move on to closing advice. And this may or may not have anything to do with this. Actually, let's do channeled messages. Yeah, let's do some channeled messages. This Oracle deck is meant to be more romantic, but you can leave the romance out of this, because I feel like for a lot of you, this was more platonic. So for my pile 1, channeled messages from their person. I need to feel in control. Okay, this person does have control issues, and it doesn't surprise me. When I see people who like to complain a lot, what I pick up on them energetically is the need for control or their absolute lack of control. Also, if this person tries to tell you what to do, again, control issues. There's nobody who tries to control people more than somebody who has no control over themselves. Trust me, I've seen it, I've witnessed it. I've been that myself sometimes. And I've lived it out. You'll usually see people who have like lots of vices and bad habits love to control other people. I see this in people who, you know, drink excessively, take up smoking. Usually it's the smokers who have big control issues. People who have an addiction to smoking, of course. But this person, they judge you because they want to control stuff, and they rather judge you for what you do. You fuel my creativity. You do inspire them. Another way I can see this, though, if you have to work directly with them, they like when you work with them. Even if they don't like you, they like when you work with them because it makes their day easier. I'll be honest, for some of you, this person's really catty. It's like they dislike you, but they like working with you because it makes their life easier. Ugh. I'm sorry, I try not to judge, but that's kind of annoying. I'm spying on you. This person's very nosy. They may be watching you when you're just busy doing your own thing. Let's start over. This could be you or them. They could even come up to you and be like, hey, I think we got off on the wrong foot. Maybe you're already there and you're here because you're wondering what that's about. I wouldn't trust them 100%. They're still envious. I think they're just trying to either look good in front of people, or they may be trying to move up the ladder just like you. And they know that in befriending you is going to get them a lot further than hating you or trying to be your, you know. That said, they're not 100% converted to being your bestie. So it wouldn't surprise me if you don't completely trust them. Please don't go. I see this so much. You know what? This makes me think of toxic workplaces. Like if anyone's ever quit a job where you know you do well, you know that you carry the team, you know that you're an integral part of the whole system. But as soon as you quit, the boss is like, oh no, don't go. Even though they wouldn't give you a raise, they wouldn't give you certain projects, they wouldn't give you what you asked for, what you wanted. This person feels similar. For some of you, this could be a boss. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me. I feel like for a lot of you, this is the workplace. But this is what this person thinks of you. I'm just confirming probably for a lot of you what you were feeling. But this is where I leave it, pile 1. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next reading. Take care. Hey there, pile 2. If you chose the selenite heart, then we have your reading here for you about what your person thinks about you. This is meant to be for any kind of person, platonic, love, friend, any kind of person. So we're going to go ahead and see what they think of you, and then we're going to the oracles are going to give us an indication of who this person is, and that may leak through what they view within you. And then we're going to go into the tarot to specify certain things. We have the Page of Pentacles. This is somebody new, or somebody that even if you've known them for a long time, you're still like on a very, like on a first what's the term for it, like a first base basis. Like, you know, they're an acquaintance, let's put it that way. They're an acquaintance. You've known them, you know them well enough that maybe you know their family, or you know where they work, or you may know of them, but you may not really know them internally as a person, or at least not that well. Like, you don't know their innermost dreams and thoughts. Earth energy is coming through, so Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo could be important here. Let's go ahead and get your cards to see what this person thinks about you. You can also use this as a vibe check. If it doesn't feel or sound like your person, you can choose other piles. So pile 2. I do have Billie Eilish's Blue stuck in my head. Specifically the middle part of that version where it kind of, the strings part where it gets all mysterious. I love that part. It reminds me of like Bjork or something. Anyway. Yeah, there's just like that song. The beginning of the song is very different from like the middle part. So you think this person is something, and I think you're either getting to know them or you will, and you're going to see a whole different side to them. We have cleanse. Cleanse. This person is a bit empathic. I feel like they take on a lot of energy, and the person you meet whenever they have like all this pent up emotion, energy, or whatever's going on is very different from the person you would meet if you were to, like, for example, spend some time with them in their place, their home, or just, you know, we chill. I feel like this person, it's not that they're two-faced, they just present a different person to the public than they are on the inside. And most of us do that. Like, that's nothing bad. I just feel like this person, they take on a lot. I feel like you may see either a more frustrated or angry version of them, but if you got to know them, you would see how chill they are, maybe even more artistic. I did say artistic, maybe that sounded autistic to some of you. So maybe some of these people have even been very open about them being on an autism spectrum. Take that only if it resonates. I'm not calling them that. I just feel like maybe that you wonder if this is something that they are, or if they've told you about this. That's more for confirmation. So for my pile 2, we have celebrate. This could be somebody that when they go to parties, they're just an entirely different animal, which, you know, same. I'm very quiet and shy, but when I go to parties, I love to dance. I love to dance. It's the Latina in me. We have growth. You may have, which is interesting, like I said, you know of this person, but you don't know them personally, like on a personal basis. So you may even have known this person for years, and you may have seen them grow. Maybe you've seen them go from, I don't know, one age to another, or you've seen them go from having like no family to a family. Like, I'm just thinking of somebody here that you've seen go through phases. We have journey. And sovereignty. This person's legit Like, this person has a lot of sovereignty. This person, I feel like you could really trust. But I feel like I said, some of you may see a more, I don't want to say a negative side of them. You just don't see all of them. For example, if this is somebody you only see at work and work can be stressful, of course you're going to see that side of them. For some of you, this could be somebody that you may only know online. And of course, the version that they post online is going to be very different from when you actually get to see them in their meat suit and live in person, you know, face to face in the human form. I say this because I've made friends online that once I got to know, once, you know, we had video chat and once we got to speaking on the phone, they just felt very different than from the person that they posted on, you know, online. Because I've met people from before video chatting, and you know, it's interesting once you did get to see their face and hear their voice and see how their mannerisms. So for some of you, you may have met this person online. Let's go ahead and get the rest of your cards. This person could want to offer you something. So I do feel like for a lot of you, this is somebody that you're trying to be friends with, or vice versa. They could be trying to be friends with you. We have Poseidon, flow. This person could love the ocean or be into aquatic things. They could have water in their astrological chart. Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer. Like I said, they could do aquatic sports, or they could just love the water. Back of the deck, Baime, beauty. You don't really feel like this is necessary to say, but I do feel like you find this person attractive. I don't know. Again, this could, even if it's platonic, even if this is somebody you're not really romantically attracted to, you can't help but you know, note that they are a good-looking person. And then from the Goddess deck, this person could also prioritize beauty, so fashion or looking good, or some people just have that. Like, they like their things to look good. I'm thinking of like Libra energy, where even if they themselves are a very chill and laid back person, they like to wear really nice clothes, or clothes that are like physically harmonious. I hope that makes sense. So we have Mott Justice, again with Libra energy, because when I think of justice, I think of the scales, I think of being fair. This person is very chill though. I feel like they also have a strong sense of morality. Like I said, this person's legit. Like, I feel like you could trust this person. They're good people. And back of the deck, Athena, strategy, which oddly enough, I have a tarot deck based on the Greek gods, and she is the Justice card in that deck. So yeah, this person, they're very fair. They're also very logical. I feel like once you get to know them, you realize just how smart they are. I feel like they're a very deep thinker. Part of the reason they get so frustrated is because they think a lot. I feel like, and sometimes they say, what's the saying? Like, intelligent people find it hard to be happy because they see through everything and they think about everything, and they point out all the flaws in the world and in life, and especially if they have no control over making it better, they get annoyed. So I feel like this person, they're very smart. Part of the reason they're angry is because they see the flaws in everything and they wish to make it better. But this person is clearly not in a space of control, especially with the Page card here. I feel like they're either again, if this is at work, they're not going to be at the top. There's somebody still newish, or they could even be a little bit younger or less experienced. They don't have that authority. They don't wield that kind of influence or power yet. Wouldn't surprise me if they did eventually. But this person, they know what's right. They know what's wrong. They know what's fair, usually. And that's not to say that they don't have their own feelings or even their own biases or biases. It's just they're a very interesting person. I will say that. I do feel like they would make a good friend. I do feel like either you or this person, it's like a friendship kind of wants to bubble up between the both of you. Again, because you're very chill, you know. If you get a good gut feeling from this person, or even like a positive one, there's a reason for that. This person, they're good people. They're good. They're legit. I keep hearing that. So with that said, pile 2, let's go ahead and move on to the tarot to see more specifically what this person thinks about you. So the way I'm doing this, the first row is going to be what they think about you. The second row is going to be why. And then the third is going to, if the reasoning is problematic, we're going to see if you can change their mind, or if their mind will change with time, or, you know, on their own, whatever happens here. So what do they think of you? What does this person think of you? Pile 2. I keep hearing that song. I don't hate you, but I can't change you. So that may mean several things to many people. I don't hate you, but I can't change you. We have the Three of Swords. We have the Page of Cups. Did somebody reject someone here? Or there could be this in general, Three of Swords and the Page of Cups, it's like an unrequited crush or an unrequited love. Somebody feeling that they're not worthy of someone, like even if there was a chance. This is only if it's romantic, but it could also be, again, friendship wise, platonically, somebody feels like they're not worthy of your attention, or that you, like, being out of somebody's league, like you're out of each other's leagues. You may both think this of each other, believe it or not. Nine of Cups. That said, you guys like to have fun. I feel like you enjoy each other's company. You think you're cool. We have Ten of Cups and the Wanderer. They do wonder, and maybe you wonder this as well, if there would ever be a time where, like, you could both hang out and be chill and, like, make this happen. Low-key manifesting this as well. If you're already on your way to, like, hanging out with this person or getting to know them, I think it's going to be positive going forward. Because I do feel like you and this person, the Forager, yeah, it's like you get along. These two cards are very specific to this deck. I don't know where the book is. Otherwise, I would look it up. My house is in a state of disarray right now. Like, I'm in the process of packing my stuff up to move out. So, but just going off of this intuitively, so don't take this as what the book says. This is my interpretation of these cards. The Wanderer, they're wondering about you. The Forager, it's like you're both looking for excuses to hang out with each other, talk, or like you seek each other out. You like each other's company. Again, whether it's friend or romantic. But I feel like at least initially or at some point within this connection or knowing each other, you knew that you couldn't hang out or be together, or like there was a reason for not coming together. I feel like those reasons are either dissipating or like I do feel. Why is this? Yeah, I feel like that's the natural next question. Why does it feel like they're both seeking each other out? Why does it feel like this person does like you, but like felt you were out of their league, and now it seems like you're trying it again? We have the Ten of Swords. There was an ending of some sort, or somebody was overburdened. Ace of Swords, but now something new has popped up. And the Ranger. You keep getting all the special cards. But the Ranger has a journey. And I briefly remember reading up on this because I was wondering what these three sections are. The Ranger begins alone, and then they come to meet all these people, and they end. It's like a journey. Somebody who's out to seek things. Somebody who's like not afraid to take risks, but also understands that with every risk they take, they have to learn how to handle it. So I feel like you and this person keep being put in each other's way with the sword suit because you both just naturally communicate. You have certain things in common. You definitely have certain mindsets in common. You and this person agree on a lot of issues, political, social, etc. You have similar minds, or you think similarly. And I feel like it's comforting to find that somebody thinks the same way that you do, especially if you're surrounded by people who don't. So yeah, I feel like this is why you keep being brought back to each other. Let's go ahead and do that third question. Will their minds change, or can you change their mind? I don't feel like there's anything to change their mind, but I do want to see the outcome of this. So for pile 2, I just feel like the universe is going to keep bringing you two together until you have some sort of really, really good friendship or bond or something. The Sun, yeah. Six of Cups. There's just a natural liking of each other. If this is more romantic, like I said, the universe will open this up for you. You're not meant to do anything here, pile 2. I'm not saying go out of your way. But if you naturally get brought together, I feel like, allow it to happen if it feels good, if it feels right. And the Ten of Wands. The only issue I do see for either of you is that you may be overwhelmed with work or other priorities or something else, other responsibilities. Back of the deck, the Chariot. Yeah, I feel like eventually this will come to a halt until one of you kind of frees up time or something. The King of Wands is interesting. And Seven of Swords. some of you could have somebody getting in the way of this, because the King of Wands I sometimes see as like the boss card. If you both work together, there could be somebody getting in the way of the both of you getting together. Maybe they want to separate you. I feel like, yeah, there's something here. So I feel like you both like each other, and it's going to stay that way. I don't think there's any forward movement, especially with that Chariot reversed and the Ten of Wands. You could both be busy. For example, if this was a summer fling or somebody you met like on a vacation trip or something, I think it just naturally comes to an end because you stop seeing each other, or even if you add each other on your socials, it's not the same as seeing each other every day. But that said, I do feel like at the very least you get to enjoy the fact that there's people out there like you. I don't know, there's just a natural liking of each other, and I think that's sweet and I think that's cute. So with that said, pile 2. That ended kind of up in the air, but you know, I do feel like if the universe brings them back to you, go ahead and have fun with that. Nine of Swords. You may think about them a lot though. You may wonder what they're up to. So let's go ahead and get some channeled messages from your person. This is from a romance oracle, but you do not have to take it romantically. Some of you may, just because this reading did feel a little bit like it leaned that way. But for others of you, not exactly. Love will keep us together, yeah. Or the universe or something here. For some of you, this could end up being like a long distance relationship if you do decide to take it that way. I ran away. Like I said, there was that initial somebody here not feeling like they're enough for somebody. Out of somebody's league. My intentions can be selfish at times. I think this person has been accused of either, if not being selfish, then of being a little self-centered. Because they're not superficial, but they may come off that way. And honestly, I think that's just either their culture or their upbringing or their personality to not be overly involved in people's business. And they don't mean any ill intent by that. They just keep to themselves because, you know, they don't believe in completely involving themselves in every little thing that everybody does, even their close friends. So it's not selfishness. They just do themselves. They're independent. You drive me crazy. Yeah, you guys have fun. I think they like that you drive them a little crazy. And I'm afraid to get close to people. There is slightly avoidant behavior here, but it could also just be setting like boundaries or maybe even have their walls up. There's something here where they don't let people in easily. Like I said, there's two sides of them. I think you might be scratching the surface of their true self, but it might just be that until they're more comfortable letting you in. Yeah, back of the deck. I've never seen this card in this deck. I feel connected to you. They feel a connection. I think you feel a connection as well. It's rather lovely, but I think you're just going to have to take it slow until things happen. But this is where I leave it, pile 2. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next reading. Take care. Hey there, pile 3. If you chose the amethyst cluster, then we have your reading here for you about what your person thinks about you. This is meant to be platonic, romantic, any sort of way. We're just thinking about the person on your mind and what they may think about you. So, I do have wickeds for good stuck in my head for this pile. Specifically, because I knew you, I have been changed for good. So there's something very impactful about the relationship, the connection between you and this person. I do feel like you know them on a rather deeper level than just an acquaintance. I do feel like this could be a friend or something more for some of you, or family. And then I keep hearing, I forget what song, is it called Everything I Wanted by Billie Eilish? The specific lyric, if you could change the way that you see yourself, you wouldn't wonder why they don't deserve you. There's something here about your worth, or something about this person, either you or this person, like seeing your worth. So I do feel like this is a deep connection. Let's go ahead and look at the card you chose, because now I'm very curious. We have the Wanderer. So this card is specific to this deck, and it's basically all the thoughts that come into your head, all the ideas that you have. This is my own interpretation, by the way. It's not exactly what the book says, because I don't know where the book is. I'm packing everything, and I think the box is somewhere. I don't know where it went, but I do feel for a lot of you, you wonder a lot about this person, or this person wonders a lot about you. There's a lot of thinking going on between you and this person. So let's get the rest of your cards, pile 3. This does feel like a significant relationship or connection, whatever kind it may be. We have surrender. Lots of music coming through for this one. I'm not even bothering to name it all because some of it are like indie songs, or I don't know. I'm not really one of those people to make playlists for readings, but if you're interested in that, or if you like that, let me know and I might consider it. Not only that, but not every pile gets music. We have Shiva, Destroyer. Destroyer, as in this person shaped your life somehow. I keep getting that. For some of you, this could be a family member. Family can't help but shape the way we grow, or like a friend, like a lifelong friend, or an impactful friend. For my pile 3. We have sovereignty. We have earth. Something about reincarnation with the earth card, interestingly enough. Explore. And back of the deck, feel. This person helped you to feel again, or they helped you feel something. Vice versa. I feel like you both are this way. You could have met like out and about. Like I feel like you would have met, for example, if you're both outdoor people on a hiking trail, or if you both like to party at some sort of festival. You met doing the things that you love to do, especially online. You would have met in like similar groups, you know, similar, I don't know what they call them, forums, groups. Like you both have something in common. And because of that, it may almost feel like a spiritual connection, though it does not have to be. I do feel like there's something here about expressing your feelings to each other. Maybe it didn't come easily at first, but as time went on, it was easy to understand each other. You and this person really get each other on a deep level. It doesn't matter how long you've known each other. I do say that maybe you've known them for a long time, but even if you haven't, it may feel like you have, just because of how easy things came to the both of you. This is one of those connections where like the more you talk, the more you recognize that you understand each other, you agree with a lot of the same things. It's one of those connections, so it felt very natural. Like I said, doesn't matter how long you've known each other. Destroyer, though, is an interesting energy, because where you don't agree is where you learn to understand different perspectives. It's like even in your disagreements, you get along, which is, I don't know, I feel like that's harder and harder to find nowadays. It used to be, at least when I was growing up, or maybe, I don't know, maybe it had something to do with the culture of the time, where I would befriend people who were just nothing like me. Not because, I don't know, I just like their perspective. Like I didn't feel the need to adopt it. I didn't feel the need to convert to their perspective, but I liked understanding why they thought the way they did, or where they stood with that. It was just a need to understand. Here we have a very healthy combination of both, though, for you and your person. Let's go ahead and get your last card, pile 3. We have Artemis, individuation. Yeah, exactly. It's like where you both are different, you appreciate that within each other. Back of the deck, segment reduction. Very independent, fierce goddesses here. And I want to see the back of the deck for the gods. The gods deck. Typhon, anger, rage. So this would be, for example, like even when you've seen each other in your more negative traits and your more negative feelings, you understand the feeling. It's like if somebody here is ever angry at something, instead of fear, they kind of embrace that with compassion. It's understanding why somebody is angry. Or if somebody is upset, it's like understanding that, as opposed to being repulsed by sadness, which some people are, oddly enough. With surrender, sovereignty, and earth, I feel like the both of you just kind of, there's kind of something about wanting to travel the world together, or wanting to expand together. There's like, it's like you you get each other, but you don't feel the need to own each other. You get each other and understand each other. This could easily be like a friendship. I feel like this is a strong friendship at the least. So even if this person is romantic, you both have very similar viewpoints on how things are meant to be. The only thing I do see here with I feel like both of you had a hard time opening up emotionally, maybe on the outside, or yeah, like on the outside you got along, or you kept things very, very surface level. But once you got down to the deeper feelings, I mean, you may still not be there. I feel like you understand each other. There's an empathy here, almost on a psychic level, but you don't really talk about it. It's like one of those saying things without having to say them. You know, it's the unsaid things that you both understand. And underneath that, we have wound. Yeah, you share similar wounds. Root. You could have similar upbringings as well, oddly enough, because we have reduction, plenty, and discovery. You and this person will go on to create things or discover things together. This could be somebody that you, like I said, I don't know how long you've known each other, but regardless, it will feel like you've known each other for a long time. Maybe you have. And for those of you, especially if this is a new person, there's that here. Destroyer, again, I'm getting, what's the word? Regenerative energy. It's like you destroy something to build something new, or you break down the walls, you destroy any weird misconceptions and build better ones, better conceptions, I guess. I don't know, but there's something here about building better perspectives, building a better mindset as well for the both of you. But like I said, you empower each other by allowing each other to be individuals here. But that said, let's go ahead and move on to the tarot. I feel like I'm talking in circles about how this is a very positive connection, and you think very positively of each other. You allow each other to be who you need to be without much judgment, and you kind of you're both similar in that way, where like you get each other, you understand each other, and you let each other be what you need to be. You don't feel the need to control. You don't feel the need to chastise or shame the other for feeling what they feel. It's a very interesting dynamic. So what do they think of you? The way I'm doing the tarot, I'm doing what do they think of you, and then why they think of you this way. And if for whatever reason those viewpoints are problematic, we can see if you can do anything to change that, or if they will change their mind or their opinion, their perspective of you. So, pile 3. Your person. What do they think of you? We have the 6 of Wands. Yeah, they admire you a lot. Knight of Wands. Interestingly, both of these cards have these cute little creatures riding these tiger-like beings. I was told to take the Knight of Wands upright. 2 of Wands. Lots of fiery energy. You both inspire each other to do a lot, especially if, like, individually you don't have a lot of fire in your chart, in your astrological chart. Aries, Sagittarius, Leo. I don't know why I said Libra. Maybe somebody here's a Libra. But if you don't have any of those signs, I feel like you bring it out in each other. And I've said this before, I like to focus on composite charts sometimes because that's the midpoint of your individual planet placements. So even if you're, for example, a very toned down Virgo and a very shy Cancer, when you come together, you're a Leo, and that makes waves. You know, that Leo is very loud, proud, and not afraid to speak their mind. We have 10 of Swords and the Emperor. This person has seen you through a lot. I feel like they've seen you through something, and vice versa. I feel like you could have both been experiencing similar things at the same time, and I feel like you could have empowered each other to do the things that you needed to do. For example, maybe this is a case where you were both in situations that you both needed to get out of that were rather dire. Like the consequences were just not worth putting up with what you were both putting up with. So you empowered each other to do similar things, whether that was leave an unhealthy dynamic of any sort or to leave a toxic environment. I feel like you both empowered each other to do that. And once you did, you were there for each other. So there's a very strong bond, a very strong connection here, because it's like we have admiration, instant admiration, and instant inspiration as well. If this is a connection, if this is a relationship where it is more romantic, I feel like there was instant attraction. It wouldn't surprise me if you both got physical very early, but you did so respectfully. And again, this is very few of you. This would be like you're both mature enough and emotionally intelligent enough that if you were to get into something physically casual, you wouldn't hurt each other. That's going to be like very few of you. I need you to understand that. So don't pretend that your toxic situationship is this. I don't think that's that. This would be like, I'm getting two very responsible, accountable, emotionally mature adults deciding to do this. Like I said, that's very few of you, but that's only if this is romantic. So I feel like with the Emperor energy, they've seen you step into your power. They've seen you rise through the ranks. I think it was like right before or right after you did something, right after like the worst of the worst hit you, this person saw you become your best self. Or is it right after? Yeah, right after like the worst thing happened, they saw you become your best self. It's like they thought you would, it's not that they didn't think you would ever get out of it, but even they themselves were like, wow, I can't believe pile 3 is going through all of that. How are they going to manage? And before you know it, they see you like accomplish all these things, win, thrive, survive. Like they see you just like become better than before. It's like the bounce back was so severe that you couldn't help but win. So this person has seen you through a lot. Why do they view you this way? The sun popping out. We have the 10 of Pentacles. They know you have a good head on your shoulders. This person, I think that they view you as very stable, very solid, very logical, and no nonsense. Like they know that you don't really take risks, and if you do, they're very calculated. They trust you. They absolutely trust you. We have the 3 of Swords. Yeah, they have a hard time believing that somebody like you would stay heartbroken forever. And maybe you have, pile 3. Maybe for some of you, it took you a long time to get over somebody. But this person doesn't view you that way. They have a hard time believing that you would stay brokenhearted for more than a few days, maybe a month at most. And 7 of Wands. And you know what's weird? They see you inspiring other people. They kind of see a ripple wave effect with you being in the surroundings that you currently are. Back of the deck, the Empress. Yeah. This person, well, they view, interestingly, we have the Emperor and the Empress. Interestingly, they see you as very attractive. That keeps coming through. Like I said, if this is more romantic, or even if it's a friend who just notices that you are an attractive person, they view you as very attractive, very appealing to people in general. They see you as appealing, like people are just drawn to whatever it is that you exude, whether it's your beauty, your charisma, your personality, the things you create. This person was drawn to you in that same way, so they just assume that everybody else is as well. Interestingly, we do have counterpart energy where this person could view themselves as the Empress to your Emperor, or vice versa, depending on which you identify more as here, pile 3. But this person, they just know that I keep hearing you're made of good stuff. You're made of good stuff. And they see you creating more of this in the future. Like they know you won't give up until you see your vision achieved, which is very admirable. I feel like this person believes you can take on the world and be just fine. I want to see, I mean, this is all very positive. I don't think you would want their opinion to change, but let's just see if it will, or if anything will come out of them viewing you this way. Okay, we have 9 of Cups, Queen of Pentacles. They know you will achieve the security you've always wanted. They know you will achieve, if you're like working on your career or your goals, they know you're going to achieve them. They just know it in their bones. Maybe they believe in you more than you do. You know, I would claim this energy. They believe in you more than you may yourself, pile 3. We have the World. I'm being told to take nothing reversed here, oddly enough. which is completion. But to me, the world is only completion if everybody's happy. It's an ending only if it's a happy ending. There are no unhappy endings. And they view you this way, like you will allow things to end when you've reached your happily ever after. And the Page of Cups. It's so sweet. They see you in this very innocent energy. The Page of Cups can be an innocence, like a sweet innocence. Think of like the love of a child or the love of a very sweet pet. They see you this way. It's unconditional love, truly. I feel like it's very pure, innocent, unconditional love, but also the beauty you have. I wouldn't call it being naive or naivete. It's more like there's an innocence about you. There's a purity about you. Back of the deck, Nine of Swords. So I don't think their opinion of you will change. They have a soft spot in their heart for you. They do worry about you though, the Nine of Swords. I think at worst they worry that you may be going down the wrong path unintentionally, or that people may be taking advantage of you. Yeah, Seven of Swords. Maybe they've even heard some things about you, and I feel like this person would defend you. If they ever heard anybody talk negatively about you, this person would defend the crap out of you. I think that's one thing you admire about them, because like I said, there's like a reciprocal admiration towards each other in this connection. At the very least, this person towards you. So with that said, let's go ahead and move on to channeled messages from your person. And the oracle deck that I am using for channeled messages is from a romance themed deck, but you do not have to take it that way, unless of course this person is romantic. This pile could be either or. It could be a friend, it could be romance, it could be anybody, honestly. So if the romantic aspects of it do not resonate, you do not have to take them. I am planning on messaging you soon. This person may send you messages, maybe even frequently. Honestly, maybe they're the kind of person who sends you like a daily check-in message. Or they may check up on you from time to time just to make sure that you're doing well. Don't trust me. I'm going to set that to the side. Okay, so for some of you, this person feels that they've had a harder life than you. Maybe they don't trust themselves, so they kind of expect you to not trust them. That's going to be a few of you, not everybody here, of course. This is especially true if this person has had like a darker past or a shady past. I don't think they're that way anymore. This is definitely somebody who has turned over a new leaf. Maybe for some of you, this is you. Like maybe you kind of wish this person wouldn't trust you sometimes. I keep writing and deleting messages. This person, they freak out about how you perceive them sometimes. So they may like write you a message and then delete the whole thing and write something more simple or more basic. The way you perceive them is important to them. The way they come off to you is important. Your kindness has changed my life. They see you as very kind. They see you as very kind, and yeah, like I said, there's a purity, a sweetness, an innocence to you, pile 3. Love will keep us together. Yes, I feel like you both have an unconditional love towards each other, an unconditional respect. Like I said, it could be platonic, it could be familial, it could be romantic. Back of the deck, you drive me crazy. And I feel like this is actually a positive thing. I feel like when you do drive each other crazy, it's for funs and giggles. Like, even if you don't agree, or even if you have like very differing personalities or points of views, you just enjoy having fun together. And I think you are very talented. Yeah, this person just thinks that you could take on the world. But this is where I leave it, pile 3. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next reading. Take care. Hello there, pile 4. If you chose the flower agate, then we have your reading here for you about what your person thinks about you. What do they think of you that they may or may not say? So we're going to go ahead and look at the oracles to get an overall view of both your person and the connection you may have. And then we're going to go more specifically into the tarot to see what their thoughts about you are. This could be romantic or platonic. I wasn't really setting any type of relationship here, so it could be for either or. I do have... Well, no, let me not name that just in case. Sometimes I just have songs stuck in my head, and sometimes I feel like they pertain to the actual pile. But for you, we have the 10 of Swords. Okay, that's perfect. There is something about having hit rock bottom, but also like it's whatever, it's gotten as bad as it will get. Whatever you and this person have going on, I feel like it's gotten as bad as it will get. I don't think it'll get any worse. It's only up from here. I do feel like this is somebody who has hurt you in the past or vice versa. It's very likely you've hurt each other because it takes two to tango here, just in different ways. But the song I had for you, it's a Korean pop song from like, it's an oldie but a goodie because I love it. It's Bak Ji Young. The translation is like being hit by a bullet. Love that song. It's my favorite K-pop song of all time because of the emotion. And basically it's about being so heartbroken, almost not believing it, like so heartbroken that you feel like you've been shot, essentially. But I feel like you and this person, there's stuff that's gone down between the both of you. But let's go ahead and get the rest of your cards. So yes, use this as the vibe check. If this isn't resonating with the person you're speaking about, then, or thinking about, then go ahead and choose another pile. For my pile 4, we have hunger. This person is ambitious. Or if they're not ambitious, to me, hunger sometimes comes off as like a need. For whatever reason, I'm getting control. They might have a hunger for control over situations. Because I also see hunger as ambition. Which I know doesn't make sense because being hungry doesn't really make you ambitious. But you know how when we're hungry for power, that's what I'm getting. So I'm getting ambition from this person. And I say that because I'm hungry. I haven't had breakfast yet. But I'm not like ambitious about it. We have freedom. Let me censor this girly. So we have freedom. We have flow. I'm going to take this reversed because I feel like there's a lack of flow between you and this person. Or if you want nothing to do with this person, this could be somebody that you still have to put up with regardless of what your relationship is. It could be professional. It could be familial. There's a lack of flow here. Basically, sometimes things can get awkward or tense. We have root. I'm going to get one more for this one. Feel. You both feel things when you would rather not. You both feel things. Back of the deck, wound, yeah. So, like I said, the good news is that it can only go up from here. Because this wound card is reversed, I usually don't take reversals with this deck, but I'm being told to do so. I feel like the wounds are healing and you can either improve upon whatever's gone on between you and this person, or you can leave it here. Because I feel like you're both uncomfortable, because I feel like you both have this feeling anytime you're around each other, you could decide to make it better. And maybe this is why you're here. Maybe you've gotten like a text from them, a talk from them, or something, some sort of communication, or even just some sort of gut feeling that this person may want to make things better between the both of you. I'm not saying that you're going to go back to being how you were, but to be civil to each other. We have Sir Nuno, Shapeshifter. So if this is your person, which I feel like for a lot of you it is, I think this person knows how to play their roles very well. They're kind of somebody who, they know how to act in front of the right people. They know to speak a certain way with certain people. They what's the word? Code switch? They switch code a lot. They change themselves into what they need to be depending on who's around. So for example, if this is the professional space, this would be somebody who acts really wonderful in front of their boss and in front of, if you deal with customers, maybe in front of customers, same thing. But with you, unless they have to, they're not really gonna react a certain way because that's how they act around you. Same thing with family. Around certain family members, they're going to act a certain way. In front of you, they're going to act however. So this person definitely switches it up, and I think you're very aware of that. Back of the deck, Green Man, Abundance. Like I said, this could be the professional space. Somewhere where money is of importance. I guess within family, it can relate a little bit, maybe in terms of inheritance. But this person, I can see why you may have ended things with them. I feel like you either cut onto their I don't want to call it fake, because we all code switch. We all act differently in front of different people. Like, everybody does that. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but this person could do it to an extent which is just unhealthy or fake. I feel like you think that they come off as fake, and that's fair, because I feel like certain people can be this way. And I'm not talking about somebody who, for example, will talk to children a certain way, or even like elderly people a certain way. We all do that. We all adjust ourselves depending on who we're talking to. This is more specifically someone closer to your age range, or even, like I said, the workspace. You see this a lot, or even certain family members. But let's go ahead and, but not, like, if you share children with this person, I'm not talking about that either. Does that make sense? When it comes to the important things, that's where they code switch. So let's get your last card. This one's tricky to navigate in real life, isn't it? Because I'm reading your energies very well, but I sense the tension. I sense the, yeah, Burika, unity. The fact that you wanted to come out reversed, it's like, you know that there's a need for the both of you to be on the same page, but it can be difficult when you either don't trust each other, don't like each other, or there has been too much baggage in the past. Let's call it that. Back of the deck, each shall release. Because you've definitely, either you're still working on releasing this person, or you have already released them. For a lot of you, I'll be honest, there's a bit of jealousy here. If you have somehow glowed up in any way, shape, or form, especially when it comes to money, or even your looks, or even like if you've gone up in life somehow, this person has probably popped back into your life. I don't think that was a coincidence. I think this person has kind of kept their feelers out for you, because there is a little bit of a soul bond here. Not because, like I said, I don't feel like you have any feelings towards this person other than those of hurt. But regardless, because you are bonded, even if on a very weak level, like, it's still going to be affecting both of you. With Root, I feel like this is a situation where you know you have to remain grounded. I feel like a lot of you are very aware. Like, if you know you're going to have to deal with this person, you make it a point to ground yourself, protect yourself, to compose yourself. Like I said, we all code switch. I feel like you do it too, Pile 4, but you do it for the proper reasons. Like, instead of showing all your cards about how you feel about this person, you're going to be very professional and keep it neutral at best here. That's why I feel like there could be a little bit of mirroring within the both of you. I think there's a reason you came together initially, because I feel like there wouldn't be feelings here if you two hadn't had something at some point before, whether it was a friendship, relationship, etc. That's why I say some of you may share children. This could easily be the parent of your child or your children. I see this kind of energy within that kind of dynamic a lot. This could be somebody that, like I said, you work with, and maybe at one point you supported each other, you were even friends, but now it's different. I don't feel this is somebody that you've hated the whole time you know them. This is just somebody that you had to have hit rock bottom at some point with. You could still be there. And maybe you're here to figure out what it is that they think about you. I do want to see Poseidon flow. So the good news is, yeah, because we have flow reversed and then flow here. There's something about the flow of whatever's going on between the both of you. And I say family and work, but it could be any situation. It could be friends, but I feel like with somebody like this, it would be easier to just cut them off as a friend, unless you're part of a bigger friend group where you don't want to, cause waves and make the other have to leave the friend group. So that's why I say work and or family, but it could be anything here. And then underneath that, new beginnings. So yeah, I do feel like there's something new coming up between you and this person. Let's go ahead and move on to the tarot though, just because this one I'm very curious. This one, like I said, it's tricky energy. So let's see where this could possibly head. And I say this because when I look into like future things, it's not always 100% guaranteed. We all have freedom of will. In fact, freedom could be something that was, feel freedom. Freedom could be something that was an important issue here, whether it was because you didn't give each other freedom or one of you got more freedom than the other. So for the tarot, for pile 4, I'm going to do what they feel about you, what they think about you. The next row is why. And then the third row is going to be if this can change. And I'm going to really focus on that for you, pile 4, because I do feel like there's a change in this dynamic happening. For my pile 4. We have 7 of Swords. They still don't trust you, and that's fair. I don't think you trust them either. 5 of Swords. 8 of Pentacles. Like I said, for a lot of you, you could work with each other. King of Swords. 6 of Wands. Yeah, I think things will get better between the both of you somehow. Either you or this person decide to just put differences aside. It's like logically you're going to make it a point to work together, especially if you were already a great team beforehand, because the 6 of Wands is victory. It's victorious. Like I said, there's ambition here, which is why for the majority of you, let's let this, I guess you could take that sound in the background if you can hear it as confirmation. For the majority of you, you made a great team. I think you still make a great team because you have similar ambitions, similar work ethic, or you work in similar ways. Like you just had that, it's that flow. The flow is a sort of chemistry between two people sometimes where this has to be professional for the majority of you, or even friends that get along. Like you were just able to create something that apart you couldn't really do, or maybe you could, but you know, it was more difficult. If it's family, it's just the harmony and peace. This would be like, and I see this a lot, you know, two people co-parenting while on a big family trip, big family vacation or something like that. Because, you know, two people are better at handling children than one. I'm not saying that you're going to get back together with the parent of your child. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that you will become civil, that you'll be on a talking positive basis, because what this person thinks of you, they don't fully trust you. And the 5 of Swords is that either they could ignore you, but it would make them feel bad, there would be something missing, or they could try and pay attention to you, but it's like things have to be resolved. 8 of Pentacles, you both have strong work ethic, you both are also very logical. Like if getting along will get you to where you need to be, then you will do it. Strong Capricorn energy here for a lot of you, by the way. But King of Swords, you're both, and I don't want to say emotionally intelligent, but that could be the case for some of you. Because this person really values how you think. This person understands that you're smart. I just can't help but feel that, I feel like it's this person. They're working on their emotional intelligence, or maybe that's something that they see in you that they don't have themselves. Or they've tried to make you the villain, but it doesn't make sense because it's hard for them to ignore where they've gone wrong. Like they understand why you acted out the way you did, if you ever acted out towards them. Because I don't feel like, I'll be honest, pile 4, I don't see you making the first move here. I feel like you may even be saying that. It's like, nah, if this is who I think it is, I'm not going to be making the first move. You're not going to have to. This person is ambitious enough to, or understanding enough. I feel like they want something. I feel like this is why neither of you trust each other. But you both understand that if you combine forces, or if that you're at least on better speaking terms, on better terms, that things will end up being better for everybody. So let's go ahead and get why do they feel this way about you? I think I've already mentioned it. Let's look at their reasoning. Like why do they want this exactly? Let's do that. King of Pentacles. Like I said, there must be money involved, or you could work together, because abundance is a big thing, especially for this person. Like if working with you can help them get ahead, they'll absolutely do it. But there may have to be a talk first. There may have to be an understanding, even if it's just, look, I know we don't like each other, but we have to do this. Can we at least agree to do that? 4 of Pentacles. But we also have the letting go. This is literally the 2 cards that I had here earlier. I feel like this person is willing to let go of a grudge. Believe it or not, I feel like this person, like if you're willing to do so, then they're going to let go of the, like they're very much like, if you want to leave the past behind, I'll leave it behind too. But there's something about fairness here, because oddly enough, there's a lot of even numbers here. And 2 kings. You could both have very dominant and or masculine energy, regardless of your genders here, because I feel like, I don't want to say your egos are the same, but you understand each other's egos. Does that make sense? Yeah, Knight of Wands. They do, it's like you inspire each other almost. I think the one thing you fear is that you're gonna rekindle feelings that came on initially, because I'll be honest, this feels like a connection or relationship that was a little bit spontaneous, and especially if this is like the parent of your child, this would explain why you may have had children without planning or without thinking. For a lot of you, I'm getting, for some of you I'm getting this, if this is professional, this would be like you got along right away and you created a lot of things and it looked great on paper. Like your boss would come up to you and be like, you two are amazing, I want you to work on everything together, or something along those lines. Like whatever you create is literally fire. Pile 4. And I think there's a fear here because it's not shown, but I can kind of sense it, that you're kind of afraid that things will get out of hand again, because it almost seems like you're both like, what's the word? Like a moth to a flame, or like fire and gasoline or something like that. Like you two find it easy to get out of hand because there's like a sort of magnetic chemistry between the both of you. I think especially if this is more romantic. If it's more like friendship, well, same thing. Like you two have a lot of fun, but you create amazing things together. But there's like a hot-headedness that you both have. Like I said, you understand each other's egos. So let's see how this is going to play out, because I already feel like it's headed towards the both of you being at the very least speaking terms or being more civil to each other. So that's the positive of this reading. 7 of Wands. Again, you're not ever going to fully trust each other, and that's fair. We have the Magician, Temperance. Yeah, you both work at your magic, honestly. It's like you keep each other's ego in check as well. I think one, or maybe the both of you here, is really good at deciphering what the other is thinking, or putting into, like, one or the both of you will take somebody's ideas or somebody's feelings. It's like you communicate very well. There's almost like a psychic communicative vibe here between you and this person. Like if you say something, this person can create it. Or if somebody here feels something, there's just a really good understanding. I can see why you are at one point very close to each other and why there are hurt feelings here. Like you're really good at understanding each other in ways that other people really can't. Because Temperance and the Magician, Temperance is healing. The Magician is somebody who is capable of manifesting anything. It's almost like you could literally create worlds in magic. And I feel like this is where there is like a strong respect and or love for this person. But the fact that somebody here at one point either misused that ability or lost trust in somebody, it almost makes me sad, because I feel like at one point this was a really great connection or a really great friendship or whatever it was. Last card. Nine of Pentacles. So you will end up achieving what you both want. But I can't stress this enough. You're not going to get, if this is like or something romantic, you're not getting back together, but you will be on speaking terms. If you have children together, you know, you're going to be able to co-parent them in a very healthy way. If this is a work situation, you're going to be able to work well together to the point where, like, if you get back into a professional setting together, you're going to be a dream team, but I don't think you're going to be like the closest, bestest friends outside of that. I'm not saying that it's impossible. I'm just trying to temper your expectations here, pile 4, because I'm not telling you that, especially if this person was really toxic in the past, I don't think this is somebody you would want back in your life. However, because you make a great team and because there's a certain understanding, the universe is bringing you back together so that you can create the things that you are meant to create together. Take that only as it resonates. You do not have to accept that, but should you need that, this will be possible in the future. I do have to mention, because I don't think I have, if this is something more recent, it's not going to be for at least another year. If this is somebody that you had a falling out with in the past and it's been some time, I do see them maturing, well, the both of you maturing to some extent so that you can work together. Back of the deck, we have the King of Cups. Because I'll be honest, there truly is like a little bit, like, I don't want to say it because I don't want you to get your hopes up, but there is a bit of an unconditional love and admiration here for each other. But notice that these are all kings. You both exert the same kind of energy. Knight of Cups, my God. Six of Cups. And you have some great memories together. Like, there's definitely a love here. And I feel like you both wonder what could have been. But unless the both of you go through some major changes, and unless the both of you go through some major healing and like a huge amount of forgiveness, I don't think this is something that could happen in the future. Because for a lot of you, I do feel like this is somebody romantic or even a friend. It's going to take some time before it gets back to where it used to be. But you're going to be working well together regardless. So yeah, I had to handle this one with care. And I feel like you both kind of want to handle this connection with care as well. Because you both create some amazing things together that I don't think you could do with anybody else. And you know what? No, that's not fair to say. I feel like you could find somebody just like this elsewhere, pile 4. Don't think this is the only person. But that said, until you find somebody who you can create better things with, this is somebody that you're going to have to deal with. And like I said, if this is somebody, if you have kids with this person, I could understand. You're just going to have to be on speaking terms, even if just for the kids. So with that said, let's go ahead and get channeled messages. Like if this is an ex, you could easily be friends going into the future. We have, I feel you are wife-husband material. Yeah, for those of you who took this more romantically, there were definitely thoughts of commitment, marriage, etc. at some point. If this is professional, maybe it was like one of those work wife, work husband things, which me personally, I'm not into that kind of thing, but maybe that's what you both considered each other. I don't think that's going to be the case anymore. I am afraid to get close to people. Yeah, you both have this, I feel like you were both a little mistrustful in the beginning. But this connection only amplified that wound, or it made you have to pay attention to that wound that you both carried. I am confused. Yeah, there's going to be confusion, like when you both tried to like work things out at first. So make sure you're clarifying a lot. I ran away. So somebody here definitely ran away. Maybe the both of you from each other. And I heard something about you. So yeah, part of the reason they're wanting to come back is because they heard something or vice versa. Do take this slowly, because I feel like it could easily just spark back up again. Back of the deck, reach out to me, please. So you know what's weird? Like I said, this person is going to have to take all the steps here. I don't think you're going to want to do the reaching out. This person may want you to reach out and they're going to get frustrated at some point and just reach out to you. I feel like this is going to force them to step up, especially if they didn't in the past. Don't reach out to them, pile 4. I know you came here to see what they were thinking about you, but don't reach out to them. Let them reach out to you. In fact, it would surprise me if they didn't. But this is where I leave it. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. I am sending both you and your person so much grace, so much clarity, and so much love. If you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next reading. Take care. Hello there, Pile 5. If you chose the black tourmaline stone, then we have a reading here for you about what your person thinks about you. This is meant to be any kind of connection or relationship, whether it be platonic, friendship, romantic, professional, etc. We're going to do the vibe check to see who this person is and what their relation to you may be. If I do see it lean more toward one way than the other, then I will note that. We do have 4 other piles here for you today. So let's start with the card you chose, which is the Wanderer. And this card has come out for like every other pile in this reading. So I finally dug up the book because I was just going off of my own interpretation. But for this pile, I actually have the book from this is called the Kitten Nugget Tarot, in case you were wondering. But from the book, the Wanderer depicts a nugget who isn't afraid to dream and understands the importance of a shift in perspective. The Wanderer reminds us to step away from being overly analytical. Take time to do activities that activate other parts of your brain when you need to solve a problem. Imagine yourself as another person different from yourself, and think of how you might handle a situation. The Wanderer changes perspectives by imagining from themselves in many other lives and profession. Sorry, that was lives and professions. Get out of your head and your mind will open. Take time to explore and wonder. So this is definitely about seeing things through different perspectives, which makes sense in this reading because when we wonder what people think about us, we kind of wonder why and what their situation may be, how they grew up, what their perspectives are, which isn't meant for us to take personally. It's just the way we grow up can impact the way we view life, and that includes people. So, pile 5. Your person could be a bit of an intellectual. Or they might just have a lot of time to think to themselves. This person could be a little bit isolated. We have magic. Interesting. Your person could be a bit of an empath. Their energy is very peaceful and calm. So either they live or work in an environment that allows them this, or they could choose to lead a peaceful life. Because you did get black tourmaline, and black tourmaline is a very protective stone. I'll be honest, I don't know if this person, I don't know what their relation to you is, but it's not a bad feeling that they have towards you. It does feel a little detached though, so this could be somebody new or somebody you don't interact with a lot. We have child, we have transform. Child, I mean, yeah, they could literally have a child, but I'm getting more the inner child, which is part of, at least in spirituality, I see this in people who are like very high vibrational, very spiritual. They're very close to their inner child, that part of them which seeks joy, laughter, and fun, even in nonsensical little things. So the inner child here is important in this, either this person, you, or this connection. We have illumination. And practice. Back of the deck, courage. I'll be honest, you're going to see this person change. So it's not about what they think of you. I mean, you could be impacting them. You could be affecting them in some way. But I feel like you're going to see a transformation in this person. Like I said, for a lot of you, you don't really know this person that well. So it's not so much about what they think of you. It's about how you're going to see them grow, change, or transform into something. Because they're currently practicing, or they're currently, like, they're training for something. They could be in the process of a glow up, I'll be honest. Especially if you already know this person is very spiritual. They're just going to keep changing in positive ways. They could also be watching you transform. We have Apollo, inquiry. It wouldn't surprise me if this person asked you a lot of questions. I do feel like there is at least, if not a friendship, then there's open communication between you and this person. There's a lot of positivity. Back of the deck, Luke, skill. Yeah. You could both have similar skills. This could be something professional, or the skills themselves could be rather spiritual, like meditation, yoga, because this card makes me think of yoga. But there is something interesting between you and this person, because I feel like you get each other's wavelengths. We have Esther, new beginnings. And back of the deck, redemption. Interesting. I'll be honest, they think very positively of you. I think they even look up to you, or they have a lot of questions about what you do. Especially if you're very spiritual, this person kind of wonders what it is that you do. They're very curious. But at the same time, they're letting go of a part of themselves that they haven't really paid attention to. This person, for some of you, this could be a student. I do pick that up. If not a student, and by student I mean somebody who you are advising or teaching to do something. I'm not talking about, like, you know, high school, elementary. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about somebody who is your peer, somebody that is trying to learn something that you have already learned. They're trying to get like you, essentially. But I think they also don't idolize many people, so they're curious and they want to know how you've done the things that you do. Because they want to become like you. Essentially, they look up to you, pile 5. I don't know if they admit that or not. Because this person doesn't have... They have an ego, yes, but it's not very, like... It doesn't get in their way. They have a healthy ego. a positive ego. This is not somebody who's toxic. I will get that. At least not when it comes to you and not when it comes to the things that you both do. I feel like you've been very protected from this. Not only that, but they protect themselves from toxicity, or they're learning to do this as well because they see your peacefulness and they're like, how can I get that? Or they see how you've accomplished certain things and they want to get to that. But at the same time, they don't really hold people up on a pedestal. So they admire you as much as they can admire anybody, which isn't many people. With skill, this person is very skilled. I feel like this person is really good at learning things. This person is not like, they're no dummy. They know how to do things. They think a lot as well. Underneath that, leadership, and underneath redemption, gateways. There is some, okay, there is something interesting here. If you're feminine and this person is more masculine, or even if you're just feminine in general, this person, they don't feel worthy of you. They don't feel worthy of you, especially if this is more romantic, because for some of you, I feel like it can be. I'm not really reading that, but just in case it is, they don't feel worthy of you, or they want to know how they can be worthy of you. You know, it's like, how can I earn pile 5's respect? How can I have them see me in a certain way? Because they're very, especially with like very spiritual women, like it's hard for them to be into somebody just because of their looks. Spiritual people will see the soul before they see anything else. So this person, they're like, how can I have my soul pure so that you can see it? Maybe you've already noticed it but this is just how they see it. I'll be honest. I am getting that. Because if this is somebody romantic, they've tried to, I don't think, well, either they've tried doing the whole physical beauty thing or even like regular verbal flirting, but that doesn't work. And or they don't really do that. So they wonder how they can attract somebody like you. Even if this isn't romantic, if this is more like a mentorship, they're like, how can I get you to notice me in a way that is important? It's almost like they want to break through certain barriers so that they can transform in a way that makes sense. Does that make sense? Like this person, it's very spiritual. Whatever's going on here, we're talking about spirits because you both understand the spiritual and the non-spiritual. Let's put it that way. But with that said, I want to get into the tarot to see more specifically what this person thinks about you. It's all positive. I'll say that. Also, something about stuttering or a speech impediment, because I had to start this over because when I began this pile, like I kept stumbling over my words and I was like, okay, I don't like it. That was it was too much. This person could be a perfectionist or they could just have a speech impediment. So for my pile, or when they get nervous, they develop a speech impediment. So for pile 5, if they speak another language, they may forget the language that they're speaking and revert back to like their primary language. Especially if it's one of those languages where like I forget how it's said, but like the mouth has to move differently. Like in certain languages, your mouth and tongue will move in a certain way, and then in other languages, there's no need for that. So you have to kind of adjust the jaw, the mouth, the tongue, you know, just things like that. For whatever reason that's coming through, you make them want to revert to their original language. So I'm going to do the tarot section, what they think of you, why they think of you this way, and if this is something that can be changed or that will change in the future. I'm going to do a row for that as well. So pile 5, you have Knight of Swords. Yeah, they want to talk to you a lot. There's something about communication here. Lots of questions. Mostly it's a lot of questions. 6 of Pentacles. They're also very generous. I'm also getting a bit of a... It's like they want to meet you where you are energetically or vibrationally. 9 of Pentacles. They see you as very positive and very happy-go-lucky, as having everything, but they also know that you've had to deal with certain things because this person is aware enough to understand that everybody who is happy has at one point had to deal with loss, heartbreak, etc. They know it's part of the human experience. So they may ask you about this. It's like, how do you deal with XYZ? There's a lot of respect coming from this person. We also have the Knight of Pentacles. Oh, this is so cute. Look at this unicorn. This person would actually like to keep you in their life for some time. They feel like you're very dependable, that you're very trustworthy. Why is this? Why is this? For pile 5. I'm curious as to what language this person speaks, because for this specific pile, my mouth keeps wanting to do weird different things, and I don't typically get that. Or at least not as pronounced in other readings and other piles. I speak English and Spanish the most fluently, and I do speak a few other languages, but not as well. We have Queen of Cups. Yeah, they really admire you. They feel very comforted by you. We have the Hanged One. And you've made them see things differently. There's a change in perspective here, which we spoke about in the beginning, but you've helped them see life in a different way. Both my ears are ringing very loudly. And the Star, you've given them hope for something. There's beautiful energy here. Like, this person really does admire you. And I feel like they could either want to become you. If this is more romantic, which I'm not sure if it is, but just in case it is, they could want to be with you, or they could at the very least want to be friends with you. Back of the deck, we have Strength. They also want to overcome their struggles. We have the Hierophant, Learning. We have the Chariot, stuck. Chariot reversed is stuck. And then the Scientist, which to me is just another version of the Magician, I'll be honest, but in a more scientific way. It's like testing things out, being willing to fail just to see what the results are. It's like, yeah, testing things out, wanting to see what's going to work, what's not going to work. It's science. And the Empress, this person has a lot of admiration for you, my goodness. And the Two of Wands. So yeah, this person could, I do feel like they could easily want to be your friend, or they could want to date you, or there's something interesting here about you and this person. For sure. I feel like they think positively of you. They want to learn a lot from you. I wanted to see what the dynamic, if this is going to change, or how to handle this, I guess. What their next actions towards you are as a result of this. We have the Hierophant. Yeah, they're going to continue learning from you. We have the Three of Swords. And the Moon. The biggest thing I do see is that they may reach out to you when they are in a time of need, specifically emotionally. I feel like they're going to reach out to you whenever they go through something that has been heartbreaking, because they want to learn the reason behind this. Back of the deck is the Three of Wands. And I kind of get it. I mean, being a tarot reader, I love my clients, I love my viewers. But of course, unfortunately, the thing is that I only get to see them when they are like heartbroken or in times of need. Think of like a therapist sometimes, like they only ever talk about the more negative things because that's what needs to be healed. So I'm seeing something similar to that. If this is on a more personal basis, if this is more of a friend or a possible lover, I feel like they could reach out to you in a time when they are low. The only thing is here, you might want to set boundaries with that. I doubt this is for a lot of you somebody that is more like a friend or a lover, just because of the nature of how they view you. But in case it is, make sure you're setting boundaries, because you wouldn't want to take on all the emotional weight in this connection. But I feel like for a lot of you, it's a little bit more distant than that. With that said, we have Three of Wands, Temperance, lots of healing in this connection, or this within this, whatever you and this person have. Because I do see for some of you, this could be like a client. If you are in the more spiritual side, this could be a student, this could be somebody that you advise. And there's always a mutual healing when it comes to things like that. But with that said, let's go ahead and get your channeled messages. These are going to be channeled messages from your person. The deck is more romance-based, but you do not have to take it romantically. For my pile 5. I'm planning on calling you soon. This person could call you soon. They specifically want to talk to you. They either face to face or like hearing you. They could also just message you depending on like what your preferred communication method is. You are a great friend. Yeah, they definitely see you as being a good friend. They could want to be your friend. Your kindness has changed my life. Yeah, like I said, you've shifted their perspective. You've helped them heal. I am afraid to get close to people. This could still be an issue that they have. Maybe that's part of the reason they haven't really reached out, is that they don't want to get too close. Especially if this is somebody who, because like I said, I'm not really getting the romance here, but just in case it is, they could be afraid of getting close to anybody. If you let me, I'll take care of you. The way I'm being told to read this, again, if this is like a client or a student kind of person, this could be somebody who wants to make sure that you're well compensated in some way, shape, or form. Back of the deck. I've liked you for a really long time. Like I said, this person has a strong admiration for you. Very strong. And it's more internal than anything. Like they love your soul, they love your personality, and they love what you do. But this is where I leave it, Pile 5. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If you feel like doing so, you could like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next reading. Take care.